A video lecture for the subject U18 MCCA 402 Database Technology. Before going to the subject, we will deal with what is database technology. Database technology is nothing but the internal and external representation of the data whichever we are collecting. So when we say the internal representation and the external representation for read and develop the data of the past requirements whichever deal with the concept of internal and external views of data whichever we are collecting for a particular technology. So when we represent the database of your technology based on internal and external, we have to say the various requirements or the approaches of models whichever we are using. So when we go to the requirements of data models, when we define the data requirements and we should say what are the requirements of data models we are using. When we say this, data models deals with the conceptual and the relational database whichever we are using. So when we use this conceptual model and the relational model whichever we are dealing, we deal with the various types of models. First thing deals with conceptual model, logical model and the physical model. So when we say the conceptual model deals with what the system contains and the architecture of the data whichever we are dealing and the purpose of dealing the requirements of business process for particular model. So we say this as a conceptual model, what the requirements is needed. That is nothing but conceptual model. Then we go for logical model. A logical model deals with how the system implementation should be carried out for a database management system. So when we say this a conceptual model, the logical model so relates that architecture of a business data and the purpose of doing the data and process the data based on the rules. That's why we say it's a logical model. Then next we go for physical model. Physical model deals with how the systems and the implementation of your database management system deals with. So this model deals with the implementation of all the database whichever we are carrying out. The next we deals with types of data models. Types of data models deals with logical data modeling, physical data modeling and creation and updation of data. When we say logical data model, the process of models and we relate the logical representation of each process whichever we are dealing. And the logical model also required the data representation and the requirements for designing a particular logic for a data. And when we go for physical data model, it deals with physical data requirements and the technical requirements how we are dealing with. That deals with physical data models. And the performance also deals with this requirements. And when we want to create and update the data, we have to choose what type of data for a business transaction we are dealing. That's the creation and updation part of your data models. Then the advantages of data models. Here we deal with the designing of a data model and the objects of data models whichever we are representing. So this data model ensures how to build the requirements of physical database and the collection of information whichever we are collecting for a particular model. So this data models gives an communication of interaction of the business across the organization of a particular process and what are the mapping of documents we relate in this model. So this is an advantage for processing all the business transactions to process this data in this data of model of your concept. So the main goal is designing of model and the corrections of objects relating to your business transaction. And now the data models shows how the data are stored and how to access the entire database transactions and processing the data transaction based on updation and deletion of your process. So here the data models have various symbols to represent the information and the communication of process is also available in this process. And here there are various data models in the database management systems. So let us deal with all the data models with an example also. So first thing we deal with hierarchical model. Let us discuss the hierarchical model along with the example. Hierarchical model helps us to know the order of the tree structure of your particular process, whichever we are dealing. So here the hierarchical model starts with a root and the data it explains in the form of tree structure, and the children nodes and the parent nodes explain the more step-by-step categories of all the content whichever we are relating. So here the examples here we are taking shoe to present a shopping of a website. So we relate with this example also. Here the shoes we are representing as an object of an entity, and that entity of an object relates with the pattern of shoes whichever we are choosing. It may be women's usage of shoes or the men's usage of shoes. When we classify the entity of an attribute, so when we take the consideration of women's shoes and men's shoes, and when I further split the further classification of hierarchical of this women's shoes, the high heels or the bellies pattern of women's shoes we are choosing, or it can be the men's shoes of an entity in attribute. We can split the hierarchical of the tree can be split into sports shoes or sneakers. So based on the hierarchical representation of the tree, we can use this various representation of hierarchical model along with the relationship of the root, parent and the children is an example for hierarchical model. Let us look at the features of hierarchical model. This hierarchical model helps us to relate more number of relations. Here we can have one to many relations and parent to children relations, and the deletion of various requirements of the nodes is also possible in the deletion part of your problems relating to hierarchical models. So when I explain the concept of one to many relation, here the data are organized in a tree like structure, and one to many relationship of the data types are also used. So here the path of the parent to any number of nodes can be attached. So we can say this as a one to many relationship. And the example of this is nodes of a tree, that is sneakers, and have the path of the men's shoes whichever we relating in the node of the entity in the attribute of this hierarchical model. When we relate this parent children relationship, the parent node and the node of the children is also had there is multiple parents are not possible in the parent children relationship, and the deletion of pointers is also possible when we navigate from the data from one place to another. The nodes of the shoes and points to other modes of shoes of an entity can be the women's and men's shoes whichever we have explained in the hierarchical model example. Then when I say the advantage of hierarchical model, it is very simple and fast to traverse the tree like structure, and any changes made in the parent node automatically reflect the next subsequent nodes of the tree in the hierarchical model. So the integrity of data is also maintained, should be maintained. This is an advantage of hierarchical model. Next we move on to the next model is nothing but network model. The network model deals with an extension part of an hierarchical model, and the popular representation of this model is to it's similar to a hierarchical model, but the constraint is replacing the hierarchical with a graph. So we say it's a network model. Here we can have the example here is we can have various departments and the libraries. That is possible, it's not possible in the hierarchical, that's why we go for a network model. Let us now look at this example for it. This here in this example we have colleges and the departments and the library. When we link the entity of an attribute of college with the subsequent the department and the library, or the department CSE department and the library are linked with to the college, and the college of each department and the library are linked to the student. So it is a network of communication happens within the department and library among the students for a particular college. So we say this as an example for a network model. Then next we have discuss the network features of network model. We can merge more number of relations of this model, and this model has relationship to manage the relationship to be one or more or many to many relationship is also possible in the network model. And many parts of the relationship of same records or one or more parts is possible in this network model, and it is fast to access and simple to process all the data. Here the possibility of using the network model is circular linked list of a network model is also possible, and here this diagram of a program helps you to navigate the position of records, and it relates the relationship of all the entities and attributes which are related in this network model. The next we move on to advantages of network model. When I say the advantages of network model, we are just say the access of fast access of communication when compared to hierarchical, little bit faster when compared to the hierarchical model. And this model helps us to actual path of the data whichever we are dealing with the node of a particular node or the path of a particular node. So the access, we can access the particular data in many number of ways while traversing, and the parent-children relationship of data integrity is also present, is also possible in this network model, and any change reflects the as similar to your hierarchical. This any change in the parent node is reflect in the record of the child nodes also. It's also possible in both hierarchical and network model. Next we move on to entity relationship model. It is nothing but ER model. This ER model is a hierarchical level, that is high level of data modeling, and we represent this ER model, that is entity, attributes, and we relate all the entity of an attributes along with the notations whichever we are going to use for a ER diagram. Let us detailedly discuss this entity relationship model in detail. This ER diagram has various components. First, let us relate this particular ER diagram with entities, attributes, and relationship. When I say entity, entity can be a name of a person. Entity is nothing but a rectangular box. This rectangular box can contain a person's name, place, or even any of the concept we are using for a particular examples. For relating more number of relations, we use this entities. So entity is nothing but the relationship which you are going to relate in the concept, and it is to be represented in the rectangular box. When I say attribute, attribute of an entity relates the number of characters of an attributes present in the entity. For example, when I say teacher is an entity, and the details of teacher entities and the attributes is always represented in the oval shape symbol. Notations for an attribute should always be in oval shape, and that oval shape represents the details of teacher. It can be the teacher ID, it can be the salary, it can be the age. So entity of the teacher relating to the details of a teacher, we can use this attribute with the oval shape, and this example also we can see in this. And the relationship helps you to relate the two or more attributes of the field of a teacher and the department, for which department the teacher belongs to. That's also we can relate. So now let us relate this example. This teacher is an entity that is also in the rectangular box, and the details of a teacher name, teacher ID, mobile number, age, salary are the attributes, which is the notations used here is the oval shape. So the details of a teacher and the teacher name, ID, all the details of a teacher has been given in the oval shape representation to represent a particular entity and the attributes related to it. And the diamond symbol helps you to work for that particular relationship. So that is related in the notation of the symbol diamond, and the works for the relation with relates to entities. Here teacher is an entity and department is also an entity, and also it contains the department ID, that is attributes of the department, that is department ID and department name. So this diagram helps you to give a clear idea for an entity relationship model. Now here in this entity, the department and the teacher are the entity of a particular entity data, and also contain the attributes of the teacher or entity. So here the teacher entity contains the attributes with like teacher name, teacher ID, age, salary, mobile number, and the attributes of the department. Wherever we are linking, the two entities are connected with the relationship that works for a particular department, which helps you to decide and relate the two relationship of the teacher as well as department. That's what is given in the explanation here. And when we go for the features of ER model, this graphical representation gives you a clear-cut understanding of your communication in order to communicate the representation of ER diagram. And this ER diagram helps us to understand the visual representation of each models in detail. And this ER model, you can design the database model, and we can design the database model according to the requirements of all the network model whichever has been used in the DBMS. Then advantages of using the ER model. Advantage of it is simple and easy to design the model. So conceptual model is of ER model is very easy, and the relationship of all the entities and attributes is also possible in the ER model. And effective communication tools is also available to design a particular, and each ideas of an entity or entity and attributes can also be related in this ER model. And any of your model helps to relate this data, and from one relational model to another relational model we can create the table creation of data based on the network or hierarchical model for conversion process. Next, we relate the relational model with the two-dimensional of data or any number of information to make a table of data for rows and columns. The basic relational models helps us to create table of data, and the relationship of all the data in the relational model is also possible. Then examples of relational model, you can have any number of fields like employee ID. Here I'm creating a data of an entity named with the table of data with the employee table. Create table name, and the table name is to be named as employee table, and various fields related to an employee here I'm relating. So employee ID, employee name, job, salary, mobile number, department ID, and project ID. So when I create the various fields like employee ID, employee name, here I am relating all the fields of data. For employee ID, the character size, and the specification of values and ID of usage of the employee. So the size specification, and EMP name is nothing but employee name. The character size specification of the size specification I can specify, and job name of a particular employee, and the salary can also contain the value, and the mobile number for particularly the specification of mobile numbers, and department ID also the values, and project ID, how many projects the employee ID has been created. So all the details of a particular data type of an entity is also related in this employee table, and this table clear-cutly show the row and columns of data for creating the employee table. Here is an example here for an relational model. Then let me discuss the features of relational model. When I say the relational model, here we have to definitely speaks about tuples. Tuples is nothing but rows of tables to design a data of information, and the data of information should be the instance of objects, and here any number of informations of doing the rows and columns is possible. So here I can use any number of fields of an attribute and relating the data in the table, and the data of the table should also have the values, and the domain of a particular values is also by defined. So this employee table gives you the relation of the employee name, employee salary, mobile number. So this table helps us to have the same field of its domain to relate the relational model with this employee details table. Now let me go for advantages of relational model. So the advantages of relational model is nothing but it is very simple, easy to access all the data, and the network of all this model is also compared to the network model and hierarchical model. And this relational model is very scalable, and you can add any number of rows and columns to add the data in this field of relational model, and structural independence is possible in this. Any changes without changing the data, it can access all the data. We can make any number of changes in the database without changing the content of accessing. That's why we say it as a structural independence. And using this changes of structural independence, it cannot affect the database whichever we are accessing for a particular data, whichever we are using in this relational model. Next, we move on to object-oriented data model. So here there is a close relationship of object-oriented model. This model is similar to a relationship model, and the representation of this is the single structure of an object whichever we are using. So here in the object oriented model, we can use various audios, videos, images for designing the database, whereas it is not possible in the relational model. When I say an object oriented model, videos, audios we can store, and images also we can store in this object model, whereas in relational model it is not possible. And the relational model that is not to store the data in the database, not make possible. There is no possibility to store all the data, videos, audios in the relational model, and the connection of links, two or more objects of links is possible in this object oriented model. So we can relate the object, and any number of objects can be related in this. That's why we name this model as a object oriented data model. Here you have a detail of employees as a table and the department as a table, and the employee table have as many number of fields of attributes relating to employee. So the attributes relating to employee here is name, employee name, job title, phone number, salary, and department ID. And the methods of accessing this employee can be hired with the methods of accessing how many duration of hours the employee is working, and the change in the mobile number whichever the employee is accessing. So various number of fields of an attribute is also be added in this entity table, and similarly another department table of entity is being created, and then any number of fields of attributes is also linked in the department, namely the department ID, department name, and the accessing of the methods can be changeable. So the objects of this methods whichever we are relating to the table based on the two table of entities and attributes, and methods of accessing what all changes made inside this attributes is also be possible in this object oriented model. And here the employee and the departments or the relationship contained with a single unit of data, where the attributes of name, job of an employee is related as an object, and we can store all this data as a single object, and we can connect two or more objects of an entity like department ID, and the communications is also possible through common ID for an entity and your department. For an employee and the department we can relate. So this employee table and the department tables where two or more objects are connected with the attributes, common attributes, like department ID and the department of an employee ID, where we can relate two objects here. Then now we go for object relational model. This object relational model is a combination of relational and object oriented model, and this model helps to show the differentiation of a gap between the object and the object oriented model that's related to the relational model also. So this advanced features can be little bit complex to combine the data type and the requirements of existing data types. It is little bit complicated, but the problem is to identify the difficulties whatever we are handling in this requirements of objects relating to the model whichever we are relating. Next we move on to flat data model. This flat data model is also one among the model of your data in the DBMS, And the flat data model is nothing but the table representation of columns and rows, and this columns and rows we can create any number of entities in the table. And here this flat data model is little bit slow and inefficient when compared to various types of model. So we name this model as a flat data model. Then we move on to semi-structured model. This is also one among the model, and when we say this semi-structured model, it is some similar to the relation, somewhat related to your semi-structured model is somewhat related to a relational model, and we have to anyhow we have to differentiate the data and the schemas present in this model. So we cannot differentiate the data and models, but the examples we can use here in this model is what are the entities, the attributes we are missing, and what are the extra attributes we can add to a particular example of entities we are adding in a particular schema of a data. So here I am linking the example of a web-based data, and that web-based data is linked with the schema and the particular website whichever we are accessing. So this website, whenever I am creating as a web-based entity, this web-based entities and what are the fields here missing, and additionally I can add any number of extra attributes for a web-based source, and the flexibility of storing the data is also possible in your semi-structured model. And the flexibility of adding the attributes of this model is additional number of attributes, even though when there is a relating the schema of your model and the data whichever we are adding. In that case, we can add any number of entities whichever missing in the model. So it is to be considered as a semi-structured model. And this model is flexibility to access the attributes of an entity. And here this example here, we can store the value of an attribute. Either it can be atomic value or the collection of values. The main theme of this is the semi-structured can be atomic value or the collection of values is also possible in this semi-structured model. The next, when we move on to the associative data model, this associative data model helps to divide the data model into two parts, that is item and link. When I say an item, it is the independent existence of data in the entity and their relationship of entities. That's why I named this entity and the relationship among these entities as association. So by this name you can know that association is nothing but there is a connectivity between the data and the items of link whichever are added in the table, and this items helps us to contain the information names and the unique identification of numeric values whichever is being possible for a particular data. So we can easily identify the items whichever contain some names and unique identification of your numeric value. Example, I can say your register number along with your name and unique identification of your data, it is numeric. And the links, when I say it is a link connection between the source or verb or object or for a particular entity, it based on the link of attributes of your entity table, and that entity table of your data relates the relationship of an entity along with the identifier of an entity in the table. So based on the items of entity we are creating, the link up the relevant data of an entity table should be linked with the items of the values that we are creating for a particular table. So when we relate these items and links, the associativity data model helps to relate the entire table of data, and this division of two parts helps to show the independent existence of the entity, and that entity also relates this association. That's why we name this as associative data model. Next, let us give some example here. When I say this example, the World Cup of match has been launched in London the 30th May 2020. So when I say the data of a particular World Cup match held in London, and the specification of the day and month and year, And when I say this, the data links whichever are being stored, that is World Cup, and that is launched in London. So the data fields whichever I am adding the two links, and the World Cup here is a source where it has held, and verb is being the target of place where it has been launched, and the place where the continuity of the particular match where it is to be held. So the date, month, year, and the location of a place gives the entire details of the World Cup match, at which place it is held, at which month, which year, and the exact details you can get. Through this, it is an associativity of the link and the data items whichever has been launched. In this example, you can see. And next to this, table representation helps us to know the various item of identifiers and the name of World Cup match held, and a number of identifiers from the source, target, and the verb of representation of entire World Cup match. This helps you to give a clear idea of associative model. The next is last is conceptual model, that is context data model. Here this model consists of network and the relationship model. So we say this as context data model. So it is a several collections of network relational model. Using this model we can make any number of tasks, but this model is not possible to use in this data structures. Thank you for listening. Thank you.